Hi, welcome to day 5 of the Get Ready With Me Back to School 2024. I can't believe we're nearly there. Tomorrow is the last day, and I just was I popped onto the Facebook page to see how many people have been watching, and there's a good chunk of you that have actually been watching every single day, and thank you so much. And I know that some of you may have missed a couple of days, but that's all right. You've got plenty of time to go back and actually watch and comment watching. So as I said, I'll be looking and checking on that for the winners on my Sunday night, so so I can do the draw on the Monday. But anyway, as I said, today we're going to be looking at the concepts of music for my stage 5 and my stage 6 classes. Now, for those of you who are thinking, what on earth is she talking about? Stage 5 is year 9 and 10, and stage 6 is year 11 and 12. Okay, stage 4 is also 7 and 8. But I'm looking at what I'm teaching with my stage 5s and my stage 6s today. So next year, or I should say this year, I actually have a year 10 class, because the looks like my list of my actual class lists are actually in the system. I had a look yesterday. So it's officially year 10 and a year 11 class, which is really exciting. So as I said, I'm going to be looking at all those things today. It will be, there's a lot of resources for me to show you. And hopefully you'll get another lot of good ideas sort of going on from yesterday as well. But hi, I'm Julia from Jooya Teaching Resources, and I'm a music teacher with over 20 years of experience in the grades 7 to 12 music classroom. And I'm here this week because I had a year off at school, from school 2023, and I gave a lot of my stuff away at the end of 2022, and coming back into the classroom in 2024. Sorry, that's a lot of dates. But this year had meant that I had to get some things ready. And I thought, well, why not show people what I'm actually using? Because all the stuff I have got available in my TPT store or in my membership, the Music Teacher Cooperative membership, everything that's in there is stuff I use. It's been created because I've needed it, or I've needed something similar, or something, to fill a need. So as I said, if I need it, someone else needs it. And essentially, that's why I started my store, because I couldn't find what I was looking for. And that's why I started. Anyway, as said, don't forget, if you are wanting to get yourself in the prize draw, make sure you comment watching down below. I'm sorry, I can't see comments as we're recording, just the way I've got things set up, and it's just too many screens otherwise. So I'm going to be talking about a couple of different bundles today that are bundles of resources that I put together, because if you're teaching the concepts of music, you tend to need everything. Okay, so you don't just teach one concept. So just for those people, now the elements of music, I refer to the 8 elements of music, but in my state here in New South Wales, we teach the 6 concepts of music. So the main difference is that for pitch is basically melody, harmony, and tonality put together under one umbrella. Okay, and we use what we call dynamics and expressive techniques, which covers a few things, and we call tone color, where it's tone color instead of timbre. So what are the 6 concepts of music? They are, just in alphabetical order: duration, dynamics and expressive techniques, pitch, structure or form, texture, and tone color. Okay, they're the 6 concepts of music that we have. So I'm going to talk firstly about the stage 6 bundle. Now, this is a bundle of resources that, again, I've developed over a few years. If you've been sort of known me for a while, and some of you may have found me actually through the concepts of music and some videos that I did on a very old YouTube channel back in 2012, 13. They were really old. They're dodgy. I apologize. Believe me, if you get yourself especially in the membership, I've got access to videos that are much, much better than those ones. But anyway, let me show you what you get. So in each of the for each of the concepts, you get this. You get a student book and a teacher book. Now, the difference is, okay, so say that this happened to be the one I picked up, pitch. So the difference is this is the teacher one. The student one actually has on it student there, okay? And it also has, all it does is it has space. So say if we're on this page here, and where I've got the definitions, it's actually got space for the kids to write. Okay, so that's the main difference. Also, it's got differences. So if you can see here, this has got the answers and stuff in it. So it's got the questions, but see, I've got a sample answer there. That's got a space for the kids to write. So there's answers for you as well as the kids. Now, there's also links to all the pieces of music that are referred to in the actual books. So you get a student book and a teacher book. Alrighty, in those, there are mind maps for each concept. So let me just find the mind map page. It'd be nice if I could. Sorry. There it is. Okay, so you get the poster page, okay, which is just basically a rundown of these things. Morph, which is melody, ornamentation, range, roll, register, phrasing, harmony. I know I said that quickly, but I've been teaching it for years. It's the way I get the kids to remember. And again, those are what's on here. Okay, this is what the thing is. So range, roll, register, they have to sort of be separated, but you get all the mind maps. So I know I was talking about mind maps yesterday with the elements of music, and the concepts of music are virtually the same, except for obviously they're under different headings. That's all. Okay, so you also get lots of diagrams and terms. You also get how to respond to and analyze a piece of music with samples and links. So, for example, all right, say if we look at range, roll, register. Alrighty, so I'll give you get questions to actually, hang on. Yeah, let's go back to this page. So information about each of them, range, roll, register, and then I said this is for each part of the thing. There's a space for the kids to write, okay, and then there's as I said, there's an example song. What's this one? This is That'll Be the Day, performed by Buddy Holly and the Crickets. I give you a lot of variety of different pieces of music, and as you can see, there's a sample and an answer sample, and then not only do I give you that sample, but also because of the way that things are in HSC Music 1 course, I actually give you different ways to answer it and different ways the kids can answer it. So it could be in point form. Okay, so you can see that they're just literally in points, or it could be in paragraph form. Well, like range, roll, register, I always get the kids to do a table anyway, and that. But the thing is, I use my main thing, which is music, which is, if I look at this one, all right, sorry, there's a lot of samples, but it's actually much easier for me to show it this way than actually on the screen. Music, main idea, understanding, sample, and in-depth information, and connect to concept or question. And that's what I've put in my elements of music, because I know it works really well. And so when I get the kids to talk about and answer about phrasing, they know that this is the structure they have to follow for each part of the question. All right, so they get that. Not only do you get that in those, but you also get student samples. Okay, I'm not saying the student samples are fantastic. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but it's a really good teaching way to teach, and it puts some emphasis on what another student has done and what they've done well and what maybe they need to improve. Okay, so there's that. So you get student samples, again, with the links to the music. Okay, it's set out like it would be for a HSC question, and in the student like the student page, I think I give them that part, and they get space to answer in their booklet as well, so that you can actually still have they still get to have a go. Okay, you can see this is one by Bizet. Okay, and then you got a sample one for the kids to actually look at as well. So there's lots of it. Then you also get for each thing at the end, I'll give you 3 practice questions to do as well. So let me just go to that. Here we go. Here's one. All right, again, set up like would be for the HSC exam. So it's actually the question, how many playings, alrighty, and that sort of stuff. I'm not giving you the recording, obviously, of that with timed playings, because I'm not allowed to do that. I get in trouble if I do that, but I can give you a link to the music so that you can actually do this. So this one is Who Do You Love by George Thorogood. It'll be played 5 times, and the question is simply is how does the composer use pitch in the excerpt. So that's what you get for each of them. So whether that be pitch, duration, texture, tone, color, dynamics and expressive techniques, everything. So they're all set out in the same thing, okay? But the main thing is if you get the bundle, and it's interesting, some people were talking about these yesterday, you get the oral question cards. Now, this is really what started a lot of things for me in terms of I got these, created these. When I first created these for those kids in 2012, okay, I gave them to them all in one color, all right? What I printed and the questions, the questions haven't changed, but it was all in one color. And the poor kids couldn't find, any of the questions. So then the next time I made them, when I changed schools, I created them and I put them on different colors. So pitch is always pink, duration for me. That's why things are pitch is pink, duration is orange. I can't help it, but I have to color coordinate it. Orange, which doesn't look orange there, it looks red. Texture is yellow. Structure is blue. Dynamics and expressive techniques is red. And tone color is green. And if it's other questions, other styles of questions, that's just in my brand color, that nice teal color. Okay, that's why that's in that color. But that's what I did with the actual question cards. And so they were really colorful. And so the kids nicknamed them the rainbow cards. And that's what I've they kept going. But anyways, since creating those resources there that I was just showing, I've created these nice little cards, which when you print, okay, if we go back again so this goes for all the concepts. Okay, so gives them a brief outline of what they should be doing for that. Pitch, they can find it, it's pink. Okay, what they should be listening for, melody, ornamentation, range, roll, register, phrasing, harmony. Okay, morphing into pitch. There's a whole story about how I came up with these. And then when they're actually answering a question for pitch, they should be focusing on melody. There's the questions they should be thinking about respond to in their answer. Ornamentation, phrasing. Oh, that's the wrong way. Range, roll, register. Okay, phrasing. So that's what they should be answering, and harmony. So all the questions they should be answering. And then it moves on to, you can see it's duration. All right, and it's total BP. Time, six, ostinato, tempo, accent, length, beat, phrasing, and rhythm. To think I should know these things. And again, same sort of deal, same thing. So they've got the questions they should think about for time signature, ostinato, etc. I'm not going to go through them all, but that's the rainbow cards. Now, my kids use these and I give them to them. Like I've literally got down here enough sets. Actually, I looked at the list and it's like, oh my goodness, there's 30 children for year 11. That won't be happening. Not supposed to have that many kids in the class. So I'm hoping that is not correct. But each kid gets a set of these at the beginning of the course. They put their name on it. That's their cards. And they use them and that'll last them the 2 years. They use them a lot in year 11 and a little bit in year 12. And I literally show them how to use it in year 11. And then I start pulling back in year 12 and we start putting the cards away, because by then they've actually got it embedded. So that's the rainbow cards. As I said, it's not the rainbow cards, the oral question cards, but that's what goes with that particular bundle. And not only that in that bundle, but also you get, like I said, this is geared towards the HSC, alrighty. That's definitely for the HSC. So as HSC oral exam, some sample answers, and this revision one, which is literally what I do in year 11 is I teach all the concepts using the booklets I just showed you. And then in year 12, we use this, okay? And it literally is, I literally went through mathematically and went, okay, let's do duration question. And then I matched duration with duration and pitch, duration and tone color, duration, every single concept. And then gave a few at the end, like duration, like unity, variety, contrast, all those sorts of questions. And then I went through and did so that's duration questions. And then the next one is, let me see, interest, unity, like texture. You can see there's all the texture questions. And again, I just go through each of the concepts with them. And so that by the end, they've actually should have had a good go at just about every type of possible question they could maybe get in the HSC with music. And again, the PDF actually comes with the links to the music. So, that's how it looks. So I haven't got it as 5 questions or like 5 listings or whatever. It's just space for the kids to write. And that's a really good thing. for the year 12s to actually year 11s and 12s to use. So I said, that's what's actually in it already. But how would you actually use this? So let's talk about the 10 ways that you would actually use that bundle for teaching the HSC course or the concepts of music for year 11 and 12. So 10 ways. Firstly, obviously an introduction to each of the concepts of music. It can be a complete unit of study on each concept. You can change out any, like you can use anything that's in there and change, like if you are doing an actual, a particular focus for your unit of work. So maybe it's Australian music, maybe it's music of the 20th and 21st century. You can swap out whatever music I've suggested and put in your own. So you can use the framework that's there, but obviously you wouldn't have your own the answers provided for you. In what I've given you in each of the concepts, I've given you such a broad range of all the music that you're basically covering any of those different topics that we are supposed to be covering. Okay, it's preparation. Number 3, preparation for the HSC Music 1 course. It's obviously review also for the HSC Music course. So if you haven't used these in year 11, but you want your kids to actually get a better understanding of the concepts of music for that oral exam, you might want to start using that for year 12. It's also a really good study guide. These are references. Once these kids have actually got their books, that's their textbook. That's their textbook. That's their study guide. Okay. It's great for, you can use it as, like, because I give you samples, great for discussions. It's good for individual research projects. Now, what I mean by that is they've got all the information there to help them do their own stuff. So if you're doing a musicology, like your Viva Voces, any composition, any sort of performances, anything that should be based on the concepts of music, they're there to support them. This information is there to support them and support your kids. So, you put that back on them. In year 12, for example, because year 12 for us starts obviously term 4. Okay. One of the second assessment I give them, my kids, is the oral logbook. And what it is they get usually, 12 questions. I give them 12 questions and they get a long time to do it. I actually give it to them at the end of term 4. And it's due in term 1. And it's basically, if they complete that oral logbook, it's revision for the concepts of music. And the kids who do that oral logbook know that they've got that. And it's basically what I give them is they get the music, they can play it as many times as they like. And they're supposed to give me a perfect answer, because they've got time to do that. So again, it's about going through the process of providing a really good answer, and they've got to plan it and all that sort of stuff. So that's where it's really good for that. It's also good for number 8 is practical application in oral analysis, like hands-on, get them actually doing something. All right. Integration with the writing about music cards, which is what I was talking about. Like they work hand in hand. This, okay, is those, like, all the questions that are in the books are in here, okay, which can be applied to any piece of music. It doesn't matter. And it's also about that continuous assessment and feedback. So that's what the main thing is about these actual, about the study, sorry, the concepts of music writing about music bundle, okay, which is the one for stage 6. Can you use it for younger years? Of course you can. Of course you can, but you might find that might be a bit too daunting for some of your kids. But as I said, this is geared specifically for the Music 1 course here in New South Wales in the HSC. Can anyone use it anywhere in the world? Of course you can. I'm not saying you can't, but you might find it a bit weird that why I've got things in there. So that's specifically designed for that particular course. Alrighty, so that's stage 6. And essentially, that's my year. I'm done. I've got it ready. I don't have to do much else. I just have to notate my programs. Everything's there. Okay. It's literally there. That's my what a mess. That is my year 11 and some of my year 12 HSC oral concepts of music done. That's why I like it, because I literally pick it up and we go, okay, this is what lesson we're up to. Right, let's go. So excuse me while I put this down. Okay, and I'll just show you what I mean. See, whoops. I've literally got the bundle of my oral question cards all ready to go. They take forever. Don't think that all of that I've been preparing this week has been done in a day. Oh my goodness. I've been doing this stuff for weeks, okay, just a little bit here and there, okay, around everything else that we do. So let's move on to stage 5, because I find that one of the best things you can do is for stage 5 is to actually make sure that you're setting them up for success in stage 6. So you're just sort of easing them into that oral analysis, plus all the other things you have to do. But if we're talking about the concepts of music here today, this is what I actually have for my stage 5 kids. So excuse me while I go grab that. So I didn't have enough room to put everything up here. So that's why. But stage 5 is designed to support them for use into stage 6. So what do you get for in the stage 5 ones? So let me just show you. Now, this is the whole thing put together, okay? The whole book put together as in one. So that's what I will actually use to teach from. But again, let me just pick a different concept. Let's use tone color. Okay, so they've got slightly different covers, so you know the difference, okay? But again, they're same colors. Tone color's green, timber's green. All right, so in each of these, they're all set up exactly the same, obviously just with different terminology and different questions that go with it, which again, there's a set of questions, listening cards for this level as well. So let me just show you. Obviously, a brief overview of the concepts of music, what they are. And a lot of this you'll notice is the same, but it's meant to support kids. So I literally start teaching this actually teach it in year 7. I teach music in year 7. As in, I know I teach music, but I'm writing paragraph, main idea, understanding of the main music ideas, specific sample, and in-depth information, and connect to concept. So it gives you a brief overview. I've got a stack of videos about the elements of music and using the music paragraph. Then I give you samples. Okay, so it's a color-coded sample as well as just a normal one. And I give it to you bigger, so that if you want to actually do it with the kids and get them to color code it, which is a really good way to teach it, and also a template for writing. Again, I don't actually print these out. I print like for each kid to do every single time. We just write it in our books, but I put that on display so they know what I'm talking about. Okay, so then same sorts of things. In this particular one, I'm giving you links, like we're on the PDF. If you click on that, that'll actually take you to these songs. So these are songs that you may want to use. You can see down here, I've got single songs, and I've got some actual different like comparison ones. So The Look by Roxette and the Baseballs, and Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland and Eva Cassidy, and somebody that I used to know, there's Gotcha, Gautier and Postmodern Jukebox. So again, a variety of music. I don't just stick in one thing. So like there's Aquarium, Saint-Saëns, some Dvorak, Goodman, Benny Goodman, Beach Boys, Rolling Stone, Chris Isaak, Linkin Park. Really good variety of things. It looks the same because it is the same. Okay, and then like the elements of music mind maps, I give you the timbre ones or tone color ones, which again, they're so similar, it's not funny. Alrighty, that's why things just overlap. Then there's the definitions in single pages. Okay, and then if you don't want to use it that way, are the actual term cards. So I've just printed them off in here, but I literally print those off. You know what I'm talking, I've already talked about term cards and using them this year. And that's the PDF it's in the PDF, I should say, for the kids. All right, so let's move on and I'll show you what else you get in there. Then, all right, so I give you lots of different ways to use the listening questions, which I sort of showed you, which is different for the elements of music. And I'm about to show you the cards. So there's, I've just give you different formats, but there's the listening question cards, which again are sort of they start easier. So we've got see how it says question 1. So if you've got kids who are really struggling, you might want to give that to them. And there's different versions. And then there's a set of there's a comparison. And question 2 sorry, that's a comparison. Question 2 goes into more detail. So what I mean by that is, and then I said there's just lots of different things in there, sample paragraphs and whatever else. So that's for each of the concepts of music. But what I have for my kids, just like with my stage 6, I've got the listening cards. All right, so these are my stage 5 ones. When I printed them for my kids originally, I printed it this size. Okay, so I'll just hang on, just while I move that. I printed it this size, which is fine. And you can see these ones aren't laminated. They're just put there together. And it's the PDF, again, is set up so that you can literally print it and fold it, and then you go between that. So each in these particular ones, like the ones I was showing you yesterday with the elements of music, you get the mind maps, and you also get questions. Now, this is where you could use these for stage 4 if you wanted to, alrighty, because for example, but the reason I've got 2 sets of questions in here, which I'm trying to get there, level 1, level 2, that way, level 2. You can see that the question, that might be easier. You can see that level 1, the questions aren't as detailed as they are for level 2. And this would be if you had, again, if you had a kid who was struggling in your stage 6 class, you might want to give them these question cards to use. In my stage 5 class that I had in 2022, I had kids who would struggle to do question like the level 1 questions. And I would literally just say to them, like I gave them a particular set, and I would highlight the ones or underline or circle the questions that I wanted them to do. And okay, I might say, okay, well, you need to do question 1, 5, and 7. Okay, that's the question. But again, what it is these questions, sort of easiest, moves into more detailed questions, which feeds into the stage 6 ones, which are even more detailed, because these are that's the whole thing for pitch. Whereas when I'm talking about pitch for my stage 6, they have to talk do one whole paragraph on pitch, one whole paragraph on the ornamentation used in the melody, one whole paragraph on the range roll register, one whole paragraph on the phrasing, one whole paragraph on the harmony. Whereas this one, I only want them to do one paragraph on the whole thing. So everything's sort of put in there together, which makes it a really long paragraph. But again, it's just setting them up for that success for year in stage 6. And then you also get a sample paragraph. Okay, so that if you're wanting the kids to actually write as a paragraph, because well, my school, we have to get kids to write in paragraphs. So it's a literacy thing. So again, but these are color coded. So your kids can actually write and do their own questions, get their own answers. And then they've got this as reference to go, oh, that's how I put it together. That's how I actually do that. And again, I explicitly teach that, but that's the concepts of music. And as I said, that's the what I did a couple of years ago, but I've printed them up much smaller this year, so that, again, same sort of thing. And you can see what I mean here. So my school is using this the T-XXL, which, we have to use that. So that's why mine a little bit different, because I have to use something that's actually part of what the school has. So that's what you can see in the concepts of music. So you get all that in the concepts of music. You get the question cards, you get all the information for each of the actual concepts at a stage 5 level. All righty. Okay, so why would you want to use, or what can you actually do with all these things that are actually in the stage 5 one, the concepts in music one? Again, it's a good introduction to each of the concepts in music. They're fantastic for listening lessons. They're great for mind mapping lessons, which I'll show you. So I was talking about these yesterday with the mind maps for the elements of music, but I've got sets for my kids of the concepts of music because I need the concepts. I didn't need a set on the elements. And again, I've got them each one separate because I want to be able to use them for different activities, which I was talking about yesterday, so I won't go into that. All right, but that's the concepts of music ones, and you can just see those there. All righty, but they all tie in together. They all tie in together. So it's everything feeds into each other. So there's that. The using the listening cards, sorry, term cards, they're great for games and revision. So yesterday I talked about a few different games. So go and watch yesterday's ones that you can use with the term cards. And again, we're talking the term cards is what I just showed you, the PDF, but when you actually print them off and turn them into actual cards like that, so that they can be actually used for different games. Alrighty. And I always print 6 sets for each concept so that I've got plenty. I can do lots of different small group work. They're great for listening journal prompts. So again, like I was talking about yesterday, I don't print off these. The kids I will have this in the classroom and I'll say to them, go get your listening cards. We're doing pitch today. And they will find the pitch questions and they'll go, okay. And if it was year 9, I would start with level 1 and then I'd move them into level 2 by the end of year 9, or maybe for year 10. Okay. But my year 10s, I'm hoping they're already there. I said, I didn't teach them in year 9, so hopefully they're there, but we'll soon work that out. But again, if you've got kids that you need to differentiate with, you can get them to use at level 1. Listening journal prompts, again, you might want to do it that way. Oral analysis stations, so you might get them set up so that there's one song that's playing in the background, and different groups are doing different each of the concepts of music, 6 different concepts, 1 each. Okay, that's a good way to do it. Concept specific workshop. So if you know that the kids are struggling in one particular workshop, sorry, there's a train going past, it's very noisy. You just go back and get them to do that. So go back and redo the actual concept, review it. Alrighty. As I said, and in-class assessments. So I love using them for the assessments. I will give them, so if my kids have an exam, the question might be discuss how pitch is used in this piece of music. And then they go to those questions and they actually answer it. So I don't actually put anything else on the thing except for that one big question, which is like what they'd get in the HSC in year 11 and 12. And as I said, it's really good for differentiation. So again, if you've got kids in stage 6, year 11 and 12 who are struggling, go back to those concepts in music question cards. They might be better at that level. And as I said, I've done that in the past, and it means that everyone feels, they don't feel like they're being singled out either if they've got something that's a little bit different to everybody else. Alrighty, so that's one of the different that's all the different things that I've got for the concepts of music. And as I said, there's the one for stage 5, which is called the concepts in music. And then there's the writing about music bundle, which is the concepts of music, which is for year 11 and 12, the stage 6 course. But again, you might find if you've got kids who have never done music, and they've picked it up in year 11 and 12, you might have to go back to that stage 5 one, and all the resources, you can be using them in stage 6 anyway. Like honestly, the 2 bundles feed into one another. And why do they feed into one another? Because I needed it to feed into one another. I needed to be able to teach it in grade 9 and 10 and know that I was setting them up for success in 11 and 12. And I can tell you now, there's kids I know, that I've taught who actually could easily do the HSC exam, listening exam, the oral exam in year 10, because I've explicitly taught it using the resources I've got here. And sometimes those year 10s would have done better than some of my 11s and 12s, because if they don't apply themselves, I can only give them the information. They've got to do something with it. Alrighty, so I said they're the 2 different things. They're the resources that I'm literally using in my class. The only thing I have to do for my stage 5 is I have to talk, actually, I'll show you that tomorrow, what actual topics we're going to be doing and what we're going to be studying the concepts of music through, okay? But thank you very much for joining me today with the concepts of music bundles. Anyway, until next time, I'm Jooya from Jooya Teaching Resources, and happy teaching. Bye.